Once again, welcome back to the program. ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ 9 ਮਈ ਨੂੰ BC ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੋਣਾਂ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਰੀ ਫਲੀਟਵੁੱਡ ਤੋਂ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਪੀਟਰ ਫੈਸਬੈਂਡਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ। ਆਓ ਕੁਝ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ, ਲੇਟੈਸਟ ਕੀ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੇਜਰ ਏਜੰਡਾ ਹੈ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਪੀਟਰ ਫੈਸਬੈਂਡਰ ਦਾ। Welcome to the program.
Well, I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's start off now. A few, I would say, weeks left now. The campaigning is in full swing. You are going, meeting the people. So major issues which are coming forward, which are mostly related, I would say, start off with the Indo-Canadian community, the trucking issue, the taxi issue. We are hearing a lot about it. What's the latest? Because you have been involved deeply into this. What is the latest?
Well, let me, and I'm delighted to do it because there's quite a bit of misinformation out there on the taxi issue. Where we're at is we promised months ago when I was doing a lot of the consultation to make sure that we put out what we'd heard. So a number of weeks ago, we put out a framework that says, here's what we've heard. Here are some of the considerations. But what's happened is the information that has been put out there has been misleading at best by some people.
Okay.
So number one, the safety standards. We are absolutely committed to maintaining the highest standards of safety for the traveling public.
Right.
So we are not lowering the standards. We've talked about modernizing the licensing system,
Right.
but not at the expense of lowering standards. So we will maintain the same standards, criminal record checks, driving record checks, vehicle inspections, all of the things that are currently in place from a safety point of view will be maintained.
Okay.
And I've been very clear about that, as has the Premier and the Minister of Transportation.
Right.
The other thing is on insurance. Had a meeting about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago with the Vancouver Taxi Association and the BC Taxi Association.
Right.
And we have said, and I asked for ICBC to be in the meeting
Okay.
so that clearly the taxi industry can work with ICBC to bring up all of the issues of concern that they had.
Right.
At the end of the day, we will have an insurance regime that will be fair and equitable
Right.
to everyone in the industry.
Okay.
So not one standard for taxi, another for ride-sharing companies. So those are the big issues.
Right.
We also talked about price protection,
Okay.
so that consumers are protected, that there aren't huge variances in pricing,
Okay.
so that, at certain times there is what's called surge pricing.
Right.
So we have said we are going to look at that as well. But here's the big issue. I have clearly said to the taxi industry, to company owners, to shareholders, we are not finished. We're getting your input. That's why
Right.
we put our framework out there. And we are hearing what you're concerned about, boundaries, limit on number of vehicles. We've heard all of that. We have not made any final decisions yet.
Right. So no final decision has been made, and that's what is being
Not at all.
propagated. So from your side, what you are clarifying is there's no final decision has been made.
Not at all. And I
Right.
think the difference between us and the opposition, we have been doing consultation, we
Right.
have been listening. The opposition has said, well, after the election, we'll do consultation,
Right.
and then we'll make a decision. So they're not saying anything. And my personal point of view is I'd rather deal with somebody who says, here's what we've heard,
Right.
here are the issues that have been identified, what do you think?
Right.
And that's what we're doing, and that's what I've said to the industry. So we are not in a position where we've made any of the final decisions. If we would have, we would have put legislation in the last sitting of the House. We didn't do that
Great.
because we promised.
Thanks for
not to
clarifying
do
this particular aspect, because there's a lot of misinformation which is in the market these days. But anyways, the second major issue is about the truckers, and especially you have been having deliberations with them. Where do we stand over there? What has prompted the United Truckers Association they recently held a meeting where they said that we'll not support the Liberals now, we'll support the other opposition party. So where is the problem? What happened?
Well, again, I think there is a small group who are
Okay.
very political and they have a right. They can
Right.
support whoever they want. But when they put misinformation or lies out there, I'm going to stand up and say, number one, we care about the truckers. We
Right.
know how important they are to our economy and we respect their contribution. That's the first thing.
Right.
The second thing is, out of the 14 points that were done during the disruption, the province of British Columbia has fulfilled all 14 of the points.
Okay.
The things that are still underway is when the Trucking Commissioner's Office was established, they're doing audits on companies right now to make sure that every trucker who deserves back pay gets his back pay.
Okay.
So far, they've audited about 60% of all of the companies. The minister has put more resources there for more auditors.
Right.
But the bottom line is already $2.2 million of back pay has been paid to the truckers in the industry.
Okay.
So we are going to make sure that they're treated fairly, that they are given what they deserve to get. The port has still done some work on the wait time issue, and they put up the geofencing, so
Right.
that's being looked after. The biggest outstanding issue for the truckers is the tag issue and the mobility of tags.
Right.
And I have clearly said to every trucker that I've talked to, I totally support the mobility of tags. We will make sure that that issue is dealt with. The commissioner has been told by Minister Stone that that has to be a priority.
Right.
And I can assure every trucker that we will deal with the tag issue after the election.
Let's talk a little bit about the transit now. More and more population over here, which is creating challenges for the people for transit issues. So, what's the latest as far as transit is concerned? And your party has also announced that the tolls would be reduced to half. So, where do we stand? And if elected again, what would be your priority?
Well, there's a number of priorities. First off, I announced before the writ was dropped, to match the Trudeau government dollar for dollar, $2.2 billion of commitment.
Right.
That translates to roughly 40% of the mayor's vision. The same as what the federal government has done. We've said we've matched it.
Right.
So we put our money where our mouth is. We know we can afford it. We also put $246 million into phase one, which is being implemented right now. More bus hours throughout the region, here in Surrey especially as well.
Right.
New C-Bus, upgrade of stations, so all of the old Expo Line stations are going to be upgraded to accommodate the longer trains and the newer cars. So all of that work is underway right now. The due diligence work is being done on the L line from Guildford to King George out to Newton.
Right.
So the engineering work and the final costings and all of those things are being done. The extension to Langley down Fraser Highway is part of the long-term plan as well, and we've committed to that. We've committed to our third on Patillo.
Okay.
We're replacing the Massey Tunnel, which is a huge bottleneck right now, one of the biggest choke points in the region. And as you know, the Massey Tunnel is not safe.
Right.
So we need to replace that. That's why we've moved ahead on that. So we've done a number of things, but the commitment to the people in Surrey, especially and in my riding, is transit is a priority for this government, always has been, and we've invested multi-millions of dollars already in building out the system and ensuring we move ahead.
Great. Let's go for a short break, Mr. Fassbender, and we'll come back, learn a little bit more about as far as educational concerns are concerned, and then we'll talk a little bit about healthcare also. Thank you. ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਈ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੀਟਰ ਫੈਸਬੈਂਡਰ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਿਸ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਪਰੈਡ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਟੈਕਸੀ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਫੇਅਰ ਲੈਵਲ ਪਲੇਇੰਗ ਫੀਲਡ ਅਸੀਂ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਰੈਗੂਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਾਈਡ ਸ਼ੇਅਰਿੰਗ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟੈਕਸੀ ਚਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਈਡਲਾਈਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਬਲਕਿ ਰਾਈਡ ਸ਼ੇਅਰਿੰਗ ਕੰਪਨੀਜ਼ ਜੇ ਆਉਣਗੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਵੀ ਰੈਗੂਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੀ ਚੈੱਕਸ ਐਂਡ ਬੈਲੈਂਸਿਸ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਜਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਆਮ ਟੈਕਸੀ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇਗਾ। ਦੂਸਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਟਰੱਕਰਸ ਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਟਰੱਕਰਸ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਗਲਤ ਬਿਆਨਬਾਜ਼ੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। 14 ਪੁਆਇੰਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਰ ਲਏ ਨੇ। ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜੋ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨਰ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਚੱਲੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਪੁਆਇੰਟਸ ਹਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਇੱਕ ਔਰ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਜ਼ਿਟ ਦਾ। ਟ੍ਰਾਂਜ਼ਿਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜੋ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ $2.2 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ ਅਨਾਊਂਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰਾਂਤ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਚ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਜ਼ਿਟ ਦੇ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਯਕੀਨਨ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਇਸ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਰਹੇ। ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਲਈ ਕੈਨੈਕਸ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਸਪਲਾਈਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ। ਔਨ ਟਾਈਮ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ, ਕੰਪੀਟੀਟਿਵ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਇਨਵੈਂਟਰੀ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹਨ। ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਲੰਬਰ, ਸਟੱਡਸ, ਹਾਰਡਵੇਅਰ, ਡੈਕਸ, ਰੇਲਿੰਗਸ, ਡੋਰਸ, ਵਿੰਡੋਜ਼, ਮੇਸਨਰੀ ਆਦਿ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਪਲਬਧ ਹੈ। ਬਰੂਸ ਕੀਲਰ ਜੋ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਅਜ਼ਮਾ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਵੇਖੋ। 604 858 1840 kenexbuilding.com। Once again, welcome back to the program. ਪੀਟਰ ਫੈਸਬੈਂਡਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਸਰੀ ਫਲੀਟਵੁੱਡ ਤੋਂ ਉਹ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਏਜੰਡੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਹਿਮ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ। ਆਓ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। So let's talk a little bit about education because you have been involved with that also. So what are the major policies now which your party has announced?
Well, what we've announced is our continued commitment to build new schools in Surrey as a major priority.
Right.
We've already announced $317 million, another 5,200 seats immediately, over 12,000 since we announced a number of other schools previously. So we're continuing to add. We want to eliminate manufactured classrooms as much as we can.
Right.
Realistically, portables and manufactured classrooms will be a part of a growing district like this just to deal with the demand. But we also established a project office with the Surrey School Board. We have a great relationship with them. And what it will do will speed up the whole process of developing new schools and building new schools
Right.
where they're needed. And that is a major step forward, part of our cooperation. The other thing is post-secondary. We've developed and have put money into new seats at post-secondary to provide opportunities for young people when they graduate from high school to get the post-secondary training that they need to be ready for the jobs that are coming in the future. And what I did notice in the NDP statements that they put out is they have not put $1 of money into their platform for education.
Right.
I kind of asked myself why, and I think the answer is, well, we'll just follow what the BC Liberal plan is. Well, guess what? Following is not the issue. We're the leaders. We've been doing it. We've
Right.
been investing, and we've shown our commitment to education in Surrey.
And finally, when we talk about healthcare, Surrey is a growing city, and we find more and more people are talking about the need for more hospital or facilities over here. So is that also on the priority of the Liberal Party once elected? Will this issue be tackled?
It is already, and we've invested heavily, over $500 million in Surrey Memorial. We are looking at what the future needs. Where do we need our next hospital in this region? And
Right.
Surrey is a priority. We've also worked hard on developing more training seats for nurse practitioners, for doctors at the universities. The NDP, when they were in power, didn't increase the seats in universities at all. We have been doing that. We need to continue to do it. We're also looking at bringing healthcare back into community. One of the biggest challenges is that people shouldn't have to go to a hospital to get care when they have the flu or one of their children is sick.
Right.
What we need to do is have more community-based healthcare facilities. That has been a priority of ours, will continue to be, and we're going to continue to work on that.
And finally, these issues, what we have discussed, are very important, but the most important thing right now in the minds of the people is prosperity and jobs. And that's what people are concerned. What is going to be the priority for the Liberal government when it's formed, that how to create more jobs and how to bring it or keep that prosperity flowing? Because the NDP is claiming, and you must have read also, they're saying that the talk of balanced budgets, what they have been present to the surplus budgets, it's mere eyewash. It's nothing, it's just in the papers. And they are saying that now giving more time to the Liberals would bring disaster to the province now. So as a seasoned politician, what do you have to say about that?
Well, if you want to talk about disaster, all you have to do is look at the unfunded plan that the NDP has put in place, which will create more deficits, reduce our credit rating, cost the taxpayers millions upon millions of dollars, and there's no place where they've shown where they're going to do that other than raising taxes, raising corporate tax, putting businesses out of business. Our plan is really simple. Keep a balanced budget, keep taxes low, lowest personal taxes in the country,
Right.
lowest corporate taxes in the country. Invest in those things that will open our borders to bring more businesses to British Columbia. And one of the biggest things is, if you look around the world, where do people trust that there is stability and a government that understands what it takes to grow the economy? They point at British Columbia. The rating agencies, the financial institutions say British Columbia is the best province in the country, actually one of the best jurisdictions in the world to ensure that we keep moving ahead, create wealth, create jobs, have projects like Site C and the Massey replacement and the transit expansions that create new jobs. We're doing it. We're not promising to do it. We're already doing it. We're going to continue.
And finally, your message to your Surrey Fleetwood voters.
I just simply say to the people in Surrey Fleetwood, I've been honored to serve you the last 4 years. I've worked hard on your behalf and on behalf of the province. I simply ask you to look at the track record of the BC Liberal government and mine personally as your MLA. I've worked hard in this community. I've connected with the community. I will continue to do that because that has been my commitment. And my track record is all about getting the job done for the people of Surrey Fleetwood. That's my commitment. That's what I've already shown I do.
Mr. Fassbender, thank you very much and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੀਟਰ ਫਾਸਬੈਂਡਰ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪੋਰਟੇਬਲਸ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ, ਪਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਪੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਹੋਰ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਸ ਪਾਸੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਐਂਡ ਫਾਈਨਲੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਸਪੈਰਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ NDP ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਕੋਈ ਪੈਸਾ ਉਹ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ, ਹੈਲਥ ਕੇਅਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਣਗੇ। ਪ੍ਰੋਸਪੈਰਿਟੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਮਿਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਲੈਡ ਬਾਈ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਜੇਕਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਹੈਲਥ ਕੇਅਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਹੋਰ ਹੈਲਥ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੀ, ਜਿਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਇਹ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਐਂਡ ਫਾਈਨਲੀ ਪੀਟਰ ਫਾਸਬੈਂਡਰ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਸਰੀ ਫਲੀਟਵੁੱਡ ਦੇ ਵੋਟਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਰੈਕਡ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਪਾਓ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਜੋ ਸਿਲਸਿਲਾ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰੋਸਪੈਰਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਰਹੇ।